what's going on, guys? It's Pixel Dan. I wanted to do a new video because it's been a while since I've done one of these updates or these look at my stuff videos. I just got back from MAGfest. Actually, I guess I got back from MAGfest a week ago. I can't believe it's already been a week since MAGfest, but it was a total blast. I guess it just kind of took me that long to get settled back into the real world and get things going. I'm behind. If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't really put a lot of videos up this week, so I apologize for that, but I'm kind of getting things rolling again, getting back to the norm. But by the time I get used to being back home and working again, I'm going to be in New York City to cover Toy Fair. So it's a bit of a whirlwind at the beginning of this year for me, but it's a good thing. It's a good whirlwind, you know. I'm really enjoying it. It's cool. I love doing the traveling thing, and it's been a lot of fun. MAGfest was fantastic, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. But first of all, hey, look, I got like a change of scenery going on here. What do you guys think? I thought it might be fun to kind of change things up a little bit, at least try this out for this video. You know, normally I sit at my table with, I point over there like you guys can see it. It's behind the camera. I flipped around. Normally I'm sitting at the table with the white backdrop behind me, and I like that. I like the clean white backdrop, but I don't know. I wanted to mix things up a little bit. I wanted to try something new. It gives you guys a little something to look at in the background too. It's kind of fun. So, and I know what you're thinking. I still haven't done a collection video yet. I promise I'm going to do it. But I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. Maybe I'll try doing this more often. Maybe not for every video, but some more of the videos I'll kind of sit over here so you guys can have a little bit more of a cool scenery behind me there. I guess the only downside is I don't have a table in front of me. I don't have anywhere to sit anything, but maybe I can bring something small over here and I can do this more often. Might be kind of cool. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you like this or not. I'm also using a new camera, which is awesome. I finally upgraded after using the same camera for everything that I did for like the last 7 years. I can't believe that camera survived everything. It's still great. I'm still going to use that one too, but I got a new one. So I upgraded, which is nice. Hopefully this picture quality is noticeably different, but it's really nice regardless. I like it. So here we go. Yeah, new camera, new backdrop. I'm just changing everything on you guys. Let me know what you think though. Seriously, post in the comments if you like the camera, or I'm more concerned about what you guys think of this. Do you like the background? Should I maybe try adjusting things a little bit? I can't get too crazy because I have to. If you guys could see what was behind the camera, I got lights everywhere, and I don't want to they're kind of in a stable position. But the way I got things set up now, I can always swing this way and turn the lights around, and I can move them a little bit, and I can film this way, or I can twin everything back around, and I can film at the table like I normally do. I'm trying to make it as convenient as possible to keep pumping out content for you guys, and still look good and professional. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, I'm done babbling about that. That went on way longer than it probably needed to. So MAGfest was awesome. For those of you who have never heard of it before, MAGfest stands for Music and Gaming Festival. Music and Gaming Festival. Essentially, it's like a 3 or 4 day long party that's nothing but video games and concerts. It's pretty fantastic. It's unlike any other convention that I go to throughout the year, and I more go to this one to just have fun and enjoy myself. You notice I didn't really have any coverage videos from it because there's not really a lot to cover, I wouldn't say. There's a lot of panels and stuff that happen there, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. But yeah, I more go because to be a part of RetroWare TV, who has a presence there, and of course that's the site I've been contributing to ever since I started doing videos. I always love going there and hanging out with all my buds from RetroWare, who I only get to see once a year. And just having fun, going to some concerts and playing video games. It's a really, really great weekend. So I would highly recommend it, especially if you're into gaming and stuff like that. It's a really great time. Definitely worth checking out sometime if you have the opportunity to. It's always in January. It's in National Harbor, Maryland, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. I mean, from my hotel room there at the conference center where the convention was, I could look out my window and I could see Washington, D.C. So that's how close it is. I could look out my window and I saw the Washington Monument, which was pretty awesome, actually. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking it out. I had a total blast there. Like I said, got to hang out with a lot of my buds who I only get to see once a year, which is not near enough, but we all live so far apart from each other. But I also had a great time meeting some of the other Retroware personalities for the first time this year, who I hadn't met in previous years. I would have met a lot of them last year, but if you guys remember, I was supposed to go to MAGfest last year, but my son was born 2 weeks early, so I had to cancel my trip. But who's complaining? I got a baby out of it, right? But man, I had a great time. I'll try to put some pictures up here too of some of the fun I had. Of course, I've got to give a super shout out to my good buddy Eric Lappy, first of all, because he was pretty much like my partner in crime for the entire weekend. We roomed together and we did pretty much everything together. Eric's a good friend of mine. He is on the Videocade Commentaries podcast with me, if you guys have ever listened to that, but also has his own YouTube channel called Let's Get, and he's hilarious, and it's awesome, and you should check it out. But we had a great time hanging out together. I miss you, buddy. I miss you. I really wish I could see you more often, but it was really, really cool. Of course, I got to see all kinds of my good friends, so I'll try to give shout-outs to everybody who I possibly can in this, but of course my buddy John D'Elia from Retroware. It was always great seeing him, and got to thank him for helping organize things with the room and panels and all that kind of stuff that we did. Joey Rue from 16-Bit Gems was awesome to hang out with, and him and John also both partook in my panel with me, which was really cool. And that was another exciting element of the weekend, as I got to host the first ever From Pixels to Plastic panel, which was just so much fun. And even though Joey and John both, they're not really big toy collectors, they're both big gamers, so I kind of put them on the spot by asking them to be up there with me, but they did fantastic, and I really appreciate them being up there. We had a really awesome discussion about kind of the history of toys and merchandising based on video games, kind of starting with Pac-Mania and leading up to an incredibly awesome conversation we had about Nintendo's Amiibo line. We had a lot of great interaction from the audience and everything. I did put video of the panel up if you guys want to check it out. The only problem is that the audio is not very good because, unfortunately, first of all, I didn't bring all of my good equipment with me. I just brought a small camera, and when you film in a little enclosed panel room where the audio is blasting through speakers in the room, cameras don't really pick up that audio all too great. So I apologize for that, but it is manageable as long as you kind of really focus on the audio. But if you can watch it, or you don't mind that the audio is not pristine, I really do feel like it was a fantastic discussion, and it's a topic that's always been interesting to me, obviously, since From Pixels to Plastic was kind of my signature video series. I really enjoyed it, so special thanks again to John and Rue for helping me out with that. But met so many great people, and I'm going to try to mention everybody throughout this video. But I want to go and dive in and show you some of the stuff that I bought, or that I picked up, or that I was even given at MAGfest this year. I had a really, really great time. So let me start with some of the cool stuff that people gave me, or that I picked up from the show. First of all, I gotta give a special shout out to my buddy James from Epic Game Music. I got to meet him for the first time. You can check him out on YouTube. He does amazing guitar tracks of video game music. Really, really fantastic stuff. In fact, I picked up, I got one of his CDs too while I was there with all of his music tracks on it. But he was nice enough to give me this awesome Diamond Blocks Mario, which I haven't built yet, but I need to. It's actually got quite a few, 160 pieces. And these are like those little bitty tiny micro pieces to build a Mario, but I thought that was awesome. He had posted pictures of these like on Twitter like a year ago, and I remember commenting on them thinking they were cool, and he brought it to give to me. So James, that was awesome of you, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to put this little guy together and add him to my shelf. What else do I got here? Again, I don't have a table, so I apologize. I'm going to keep bending down to pick things up. Picked up some new DVDs while I was there. First of all, this is our new DVD from Retroware, the Video Game Years Volume 2. If you haven't checked the Video Game Years out yet, I would highly recommend it. It's a series that's essentially like VH1's I Love the 80s, if you've ever seen that show, but it's all about video games. And we focus on a year in video games and talk about all the stuff that came out. I've had the pleasure of being a part of that show since it started, which is a huge honor for me, especially since I'm a toy guy and I get to be part of this big video game show. But it's really cool because we've had a lot of guests on the show, kind of giving their knowledge Several famous video game YouTubers and creators, like you know, the Angry Video Game Nerd's on there. My buddy Pat, the NES Punk, is on there. Of course, all the rest of us from RetroWare are on there. The Game Chasers are on there. But we even have guys from the gaming industry, like Tommy Tallarico's been on there, and Howard Phillips from Nintendo Power. Lots of cool stuff. So the DVD's out now. I think you can order it from RetroWareTV.com, but at the very least, go check out the show. It's awesome. You can watch it online for free, and it's fantastic. The other DVD I picked up, got to give another shout out to Mix Nuts Mikey. Mike, living in 8-bits, and I actually hung out with Mike quite a bit over the weekend as well. Kind of bonded with him a little bit. He's my bro now. Living in 8-bits, super fun show. Got a Michael Ponter too, met him as well. Very cool guy. These guys are great. This is an awesome show. So I picked up their DVD while I was there to help support them. I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. Even if you don't want to buy the DVD, go watch the show. You can look it up online. You can find it on RetroWareTV.com. You can find it on YouTube. It's awesome. Very, very cool series. I would highly recommend it. And those guys are awesome. Good guys. If you ever get a chance to hang out with them, do it. They're fun. Oh, okay, so I got more freebies. I gotta give a shout out to Genesis Moss, another cool guy who came and introduced himself to me. He's been trying to get a hold of me for a long time, I think, at these conventions. But he's got a YouTube channel as well, so you can do a search and check him out. But he was a very cool guy. He just came and wanted to introduce himself to me and meet me. Said he was a fan of my series or all my videos, and he gave me like, look at that. I got a carded New Adventures of He-Man Vizar figure, which I love the New Adventures toy line, so this is awesome. And a boxed G.I. Joe Hall of Fame Mobile Artillery Assault. I don't actually have any of these large-scale Joe figures, but it's still awesome. Very, very cool. It's still in a box and everything. Really cool. So thanks, Genesis. I really appreciate it. You really didn't have to show up and give me toys, but you know, I like toys, so thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so what else did I get? Let's start looking at some of the stuff that I bought. All right, I gotta give another shout out once again. I did this last time I went, but my friend Adam, AKA Square Painter, does amazing work, does these awesome pixelated paintings of video game characters and sprites and awesome stuff, and I nabbed this piece from him. This is an original painting that he did. You guys recognize this at all? You know what this is? The Amazon from Pro Wrestling on the Nintendo. Always love that game and the character designs. I told him he needed to do a Starman. It'd be great. I gotta have a Starman now to go with this, but I loved it. I think that's awesome. Square Painter does some awesome work. He also has videos online that shows him it's like sped up videos showing him painting these. Check out his work. Talk about adding some cool, unique stuff to your game room or your collection. This guy is awesome. And I always like picking up some of these original pieces too when I go to these conventions. So I love it. Thank you very much, Adam. This is a very cool piece. All right. So let's see. I got magazines. Get these up here. Sorry. Oh, this is my. It's my MAGfest, but it's my guest badge. Pretty cool. I was a guest. Red means guest. That was my badge. Okay, so gaming magazines. I love gaming magazines. And anytime I get a chance to pick some up for good prices, I do. Especially Nintendo Power. Love Nintendo Power. Love all the official Nintendo strategy guides. So I got a couple of those in here. Let me see what we got. All right, so I got the Super Game Boy strategy guide. This is one I did not have. Very excited about this. I love this. And you can see it gives you all these tips and tricks on certain games on the Super Game Boy and like suggest color palettes and stuff. You guys remember the Super Game Boy? Man, when the Super Game Boy came out, it was so exciting when I was a kid because I was like, I get to play my Game Boy games on a TV? That's amazing! So this is cool. Very, very cool. Nostalgic fun right there. Let's see, I got the Nintendo Power Player's Guide or Strategy Guide 4-player extra. This one's awesome. This one is basically gives you a lot of different strategies on many different 4-player games, which is very cool. I think it's got like Gauntlet in here, Gauntlet 2, I think, and some other stuff. Yeah, there we go. Gauntlet, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, love it. Very, very cool. Nintendo Power is so great. So great. So let's see. Ninja Gaiden 2 strategy guide from Nintendo Power. Yeah. I actually kind of forgot I bought this one. I bought a lot of these from Rue. So thanks, Joey, for the hookup on the Nintendo Powers. I had to have one with Ninja Turtles on the cover, right? I love it. So this one is covering TMNT, huge 10-page feature. I love that game. I don't care what anybody says. I love it. Metroid for the Game Boy, Metroid 2, yeah, on the cover of this Nintendo Power. Very, very cool. So those are my Nintendo Powers, and aside from that, I also got the GamePro official strategy guides for Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat. Now this, of course, was during the time where these two were like going head-to-head with each other for like best fighting game, and I was wrapped right up into that as a kid. I had both of these strategy guides when I was a kid, and I used to just stare at the pages of these things, like drooling over every little bit of information I could get. So when I found these, it was one of those things where like this huge rush of nostalgia just washed over me, and I was like, buying these. Gotta buy these for sure. I mentioned I like getting unique pieces at a lot of these shows, and one of the other really unique things I bought was this awesome, look at that, if you can't tell what it is, it's a fairy in a jar. I'm a big Zelda fan, and just something like this, I don't know, this really just stood out to me as something really cool. Let me try to get in there so you guys can see the little fairy floating around in there. It's just kind of made out of those little like beads, and there's a little like fishing wire in there that's making it hang from the cork, but it's such a cool effect. I mean, like, look, it looks like a little fairy is flitting around in the jar, just like, you know, in the Zelda games where you would keep a fairy in a bottle in case you need some health later on. And it's an actual glass bottle. I think that's what really made this stand out to me. But there's always people at this show, and, you know, you see it at a lot of conventions too, where they just, like, make their own things and sell them. And, you know, going to places like this is sometimes the only way you can buy some of these unique pieces. So I always like to pick up a couple unique pieces, like Adam's painting, and cool stuff like this. So being a big Zelda fan, I really thought this was unique and fun. So that will go in my gaming room up on my shelf. It's just a really, really fun piece. Or if I ever need health one day, boom, fill up my hearts right there, fairy in a jar. Awesome. This is cool. There were a lot of blind box toys there, but a lot of stuff that I either already had or didn't really want. It was a lot of Japanese stuff, of course, which was really cool that I found there. But I had never seen these before. These are blind box of Space Invaders characters. So I'll definitely be opening these up probably on a future episode of Blind Bag Madness. See if I can get kind of a close-up for you there. You can see they're just like little minifigures of like the game sprites, which is awesome. And I love it because we got that awesome classic Space Invaders box art right there on there. So I thought those were really cool. Those are the only real toys that I bought. There was one dealer there specifically. There wasn't a lot of toys at this place, but there was one dealer specifically that had a lot of the awesome import stuff. So they had like the video game Figmas and D-Arts and SH Figuarts figures and some stuff like that. Most of them I had already, but I did pick some of them up and look at them, and I ended up not buying them. But there was definitely a good selection of those for people who didn't already have them yet, which was pretty cool to see. All right, so last little stack I got. I didn't buy a ton of stuff, as you noticed, but you can't go to a gaming convention without buying video games. Oh, actually, this one's not even a video game. I gotta show you this, though. This I thought was really interesting, and I think these started on a Kickstarter not that long ago, but now they sell them at conventions. This here is a Nintendo cartridge flask. I'll fill it with, like, soda or something. But you can see it's got a funny little label on there. It says Kega Man instead of Mega Man. And it just like opens up there, and you can put your beverage inside. And I don't know. See, again, I like the unique, fun stuff that you don't really can't walk into a store and buy sometimes. I thought that was fun, so I picked it up. All right, so actual video games that I bought. Here we go. I got. Oh, fun story with this one, and I really wish I would have got his name. I can't remember it now. This is a new in-box copy of Ninja Gaiden 2 for the Famicom. You see, it's got box. It looks a little older, but it's like new. It hasn't ever been played or anything. It was just randomly sitting on a table. I was looking at all the stuff, and I always love looking at the Famicom games and stuff like that at these shows because, again, can't buy those at all the places, so I like to see what they got. So I picked it up, and I was looking at it, and I thought it was really cool. The dealer walks over to me, and he goes, you know, the funny thing about this game is that I have an entire case of these unopened Ninja Gaiden 2 Famicom games that a friend of mine just gave me years ago. He just gave me this case. So I brought it with me, and I threw it on the table just to see what would happen. He goes, and you're the first person that's picked that up and looked at it all day, so you can have it. And I said, you're just going to give this to me? And he said, look, it was given to me. I don't feel right selling it. You're the first person that expressed interest in it, so it's yours. Take it. And I just couldn't believe that was just such a cool gesture on his part. So again, I really wish I would have got your name. But if you happen to be watching this, just know how much I appreciate this. That was so cool of you, and definitely something you didn't have to do. And that's a really great piece to add to my gaming collection. So cool. So there's a lot of really great people out there. There really are. That was just such a nice thing, man. All right, so some games that I bought. I picked up Rampage on the Sega Master System. That's just because I'm trying to build up my Master System collection, and I didn't have Rampage, and I'm not as versed in Master System games, so I actually didn't know that this was on Master System, and it's a game I always liked, so picked it up. Price was good. I got Muscle for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I never had Muscle before. Obviously, I'm a fan of the old toys. I know that Nukuman and Muscle kind of goes beyond that old toy line, so got myself a video game now to go with it. Very, very cool. Got a couple box games, which is always nice. I got Araki for the Sega Master System. Hey, look at that. Yeah, now I got the figure that is based on the game, and I have the game now, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, again, wanted to add more stuff to my Master System collection. I know I've heard this game is very hard, but it's also kind of an iconic game for the system, so here we go. Doesn't have the manual, I don't think. Yeah, no manual, but the game's in there, and it's got the box, and I always like having the box, so. Got a couple box Nintendo games, too, and these, I just got such a great deal on these. The boxes are a little beat up, this one specifically, but there's Pro Wrestling. This is what Adam's painting was based on. But I got Pro Wrestling. You can see the box is a little dinged up, but you know, it's got the game in there. It's got the manual with the game, which is very nice. It's one of those old black box games. I don't have any of these boxes, and it's just one of those things like the price was right, so I grabbed it, and it's very cool, you know. And it's a nice little display piece to put in your collection. And this one I was really excited about because I also got a great deal on this. Plus, this is a game I've been meaning to pick up for a long time now for my Nintendo. Monster Party. In the box. And complete. Look, it's got the sleeve, it's got the manual, everything. The box is actually in really good shape on this one. You know, the Pro Wrestling one was pretty beat up. This one's in great shape. I've always heard this is a great game. I've never played this game. Been wanting to get it for a long time. Found it for an amazing price. I mean, I couldn't believe, I actually got a really good deal because I believe they gave me all three of these games. I got all these from the same dealer, and I think he gave them to me for $30 for the stack. So, I guess if you count that as $10 per game, that might be you know, maybe that's a little high for the loose one, but that means I got this for $10, and that's a great deal for this specific game. So I couldn't pass it up, and it's probably one of the things that I'm most excited about buying from MAGfest. Very, very cool. So there we go, man. That's all the stuff I picked up at MAGfest. Again, huge shout out to all the cool people I saw there. Got to go to the On Being Human concert. I've talked about them before. I'm a huge fan of those guys. In fact, that's the music that you're hearing throughout this video. I'm putting some of their music in the background. So they were amazing. Go check out On Being Human online. Fantastic guys. They're very, very good. Had a great show. It was great seeing you guys as well. And Norm, the gaming historian, got to hang out with him for a little bit. So many people, I feel so bad that I'm leaving names out. So Mark and David and oh my gosh, it's so many people. Please don't be offended if I don't call you by name, but I'm just going to say all my Retroware brothers and Sister Allie. 8-Bit Allie, she came all the way from Australia. Got to hang out with her. It was awesome. So many of you it was a pleasure to meet you all. It was so much fun to hang out with you guys. And then all the fans that came up to talk to me and take pictures with me or had me autograph your video games and stuff, which still blows my mind. Thank you guys so much for coming and talking to me and just geeking out with me. Especially those of you who came to geek out with me about toys at a video game convention. I thought that was really fun. So there you go, guys. That's going to wrap up this video. It probably went on a little too long. I apologize. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys for a while. So Hey guys, again, comment on this video. Let me know what you think of the display and the camera and how all that stuff looks. Let me know what you thought of my haul, if you liked any of that stuff specifically. If I met you guys at the show, don't be afraid to post a comment below to kind of recognize that, and I'll recognize you in the comments. And subscribe, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys very much for those of you who have already subscribed. I really appreciate it, and hope that if you're watching this now and you're not already subscribed, you'll consider doing it. I promise I do a lot of cool videos. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up this video. So until next time, I'm Pixel Dan. Take care, my friends.